11 life paths. You just have to show up. You literally just have to show up. I was speaking to a girl earlier on 11 life path. Amazing. One of my very good friends. She's a very good friend of mine. And she was very inspired by me that I do YouTube. And I kind of motivated her to do YouTube. She only put like 5 or 6 videos, and her videos got like 30, 20, 10 views, like, right? And if you know anything about YouTube, if you are a YouTuber, if you've ever done YouTube, YouTube is the hardest platform to grow on. Like, maybe your first 11 to like 20 videos don't even get anything at all, like 0 views. And I told her, I'm like, you rarely had to put the work in and you got the views. Like, rarely. Like, you had to do, like, you only put in like 5 or 6 videos and you got some views, right? Now, my point being said is 11 life paths. You just have to show up to work. That's it. You don't even have to be perfect with what you do. You know how a lot of people are like, oh, you have to be organized, you have to be disciplined, you have to do this, you have to do that. For the majority of people, yes. Not for 11 life paths. For 11 life paths, you just need to show up and be consistent. That's it. If you, as an 11 life path, if you can just show up to work, and I've spoken about this with the vast majority of 11 life paths. 11 life paths cannot do jobs for too long. If you're an 11 life path and you can't do a job for too long, put a comment down there. Be like, I can't work for too long. It feels enslaving. It feels weird. It feels messed up. Because I know you guys can't take it. You guys can't take it. You guys cannot take someone telling you what to do. You can't take it. It's not in you. I study you guys. I talk to you guys. We are on calls. I'm on calls with my 11s. We're running parallels. 11s. We're all running parallels. I know you guys cannot work jobs for too long. I get it. But to have your own business, to start your investment or something, you need to be able to show up. And for you, when you show up, you're just far ahead of the curve. You're just far ahead of the vast majority of people just when you decide to show up. This is why my 11 life paths, like, I always talk about this. I'm like, you have to master your emotional side. That's where the vast majority of human society is in their relegated state of consciousness, where they are in a state of confusion, envy, lust, pride, ego, hatred, and jealousy. I hope you guys heard that correctly. If you didn't, rewind 10-15 seconds back and listen to that again. The vast majority of human society is in a relegated state of consciousness. Okay. Now, when 11s get into a relegated state of consciousness and they lose control over their emotional side, what ends up happening is they get into a state of confusion, depression, and in a state of manipulation and sadness. This is where the anxiety starts to kick in. And then they lose control over their emotions. And as an 11 life path, if you lose control over your emotions, you're not showing up to work. You're not doing anything. You're not going to do anything. You're not going to do the videos that you need to do. You're not going to do the project that you need to do. You're not going to put the posts up that you need to put up. You're not going to build the email. You're not going to do anything. If you are an 11 life path and all you're doing is you are in your emotional state, you are nagging, and you are always emotional about what he said, what she said, what they said, Who cares? Who fucking Pardon my French. Who gives about what they say? I'm just being very honest with y'all. I know it's hard. I know it's easier said than done, and I know I'm saying that, but I have done a lot of work. I've done a lot, and I know a lot of people ask me like, "How are you so brave? How do you put yourself out there? How are you so this? How are you so that?" I'm like, I've done the work. Like I've transmuted my carnal desires into putting in work. If you, as an 11 life path, just show up, like, I'm gonna be very honest, like, even today, like, right now, I was just hanging out, like, I was just, like, at home, and I was drinking coffee, I was smoking my cigar, and I'm like, I don't have to record today because I recorded, like, 2 days ago. I don't have to, but I'm like, you know what? Show up. I don't really feel like making a video right now. I don't really feel like being here, like, oh, I'm so excited. No, I'm not really feeling it, if I'm gonna be honest. But I decided to show up. And if you just start showing up and do the bare minimum, you don't even have to do the whole thing. Like, even if you're going to the gym, you just have to show up. You don't have to do all the workouts that you were planning to. Show up, do some squats, do some leg presses. That's it. Go home. But show up, because what showing up does is that it builds discipline, and when you have discipline, you start to master your emotional side. If you are an 11 life path, just know that the vast majority of people, and I'm telling you this right now, I posted this on my stories, and if you are not following me on IG, I don't know why you're not doing that. My stories are gems. Okay, on my stories I posted like the 10 most famous, or like the best motivational speakers, and I think like more than half of them, I think 80% of them are 11 life paths. 80%. And then I think the rest are 3 life paths and 33 life paths. Okay, because 3 is the number of communication. But no one, and I absolutely mean no one, can communicate better than an 11 life path. Like, you're listening to one right now. You are listening to a 11 life path that's communicating with you. I'm telling you right now, as an 11 life path, there is no other number that can communicate better than you. You're amazing at communication. You are amazing, but most 11 life paths, I'm not saying you specifically, but the vast majority of 11 life paths just don't show up. Because they're too caught up in their emotions. They're too caught up, like, what is he gonna say? What is she gonna say? What is gonna happen if I do this? Stop overthinking it. Stop overthinking it. Just get it done. When you just show up and you get the things done, you are in power. That being said, have yourself a wonderful day, night, evening, wherever you are.